Greetings, my friends. This is Maerlande. I'm going to do an after-action report of my first completed multiplayer game of Dominions 4, Tactical Briefing 3. Let's start off with having a look at what I did for my pretender. Migraine Monday was the pretender I built for this game, and I went for what is quite an inexpensive bless, relatively, for a major bless, and an effective bless for Micklin and Jaguar Warriors and Eagle Warriors and the various sacred summons. We'll have a look at those as we get into the game. As you can see, I chose Nature 9 for the hit points and the regeneration of 10%, and Blood 9. As well, Nature and Blood offers some major opportunities for summons, and that's very significant. My scales are good, and I went for a moderate but effective Dominion. So I went with Order 3 for good gold. I went with Sloth 3 because the recruitment of Jaguar Warriors is limited by your Dominion score, your number of forts, and your gold. Generally, Sloth doesn't come to play, or production resources. Heat 3 is a pretty obvious choice for Micklin. Growth 3 is excellent for blood hunting, helps compensate for the gold loss. Misfortune 2, not too bad, livable with Order. And Magic 1. You could adjust this, there's other variations, and the Colossal Head as a chassis is by far the cheapest option for this E9 B9 bless. Or N9 B9 bless, I'm sorry. So let's have a look at my first turn. We've seen the pretender. Back out and we'll load the turn. I've set these up individually and hopefully I can do a couple of turns in each video, maybe even 3 or 4. Depends on how long it takes to talk things out. We got our basic start. Alright, let's zoom into the capital. You can see my scales are already underway, are fully enabled in the capital. Surrounding me, some basic provinces, a little forest, some ordinary grasslands, and a farm. Farm's very good. Forest is good for the resource kick. And right nearby, a throne and another throne. So the starting army for Micklin is alright. The slingers are actually fairly effective, and these slingers, the ones with no protection but a shield, that's pretty solid with the slinger. I quite like them for a number of things. The heavier ones have a problem of move 1. Bit of a pain in the butt, and something you have to work with. So, I'm going to set my starting commander on patrol. He's going to help lead troops. I'm prophetizing my scout. And my intention, I've already done these turns, so I've loaded up the previous saves and the orders that I sent to Llama server. So let's see what I bought. Well, right off the bat, kind of the core of all of Micklin are the cheap, insanely cheap Micklin priests. 65 gold for a researcher with 6 normal, 7, well actually 7 normal, and with my scales 8, is quite excellent. Of course, a Blood Nation's going to have some trouble with research because you have to get your blood hunters out and not researching but actually looking for slaves. And that's very important to my overall strategy, is to get a good slave income as quickly as possible. But the Micklin priests are also your cheapest blessers. Their leadership is rotten, so you do want to do something else for leadership, perhaps independent commanders, or purchase some of your better commanders. But almost nothing for Micklin is, actually absolutely nothing, is slow to recruit. Even their High Priests of the Sun aren't. So you can buy one of your capital only Magi every turn. Now that, your basic all-fort commanders are your Scout, and your Tribal King, your Micklin Priest, and the Nuali. So those you can get at any fort, but the other 4 you have to get only at your capital, and they're all important. The Priest King gives you your Nature and Blood, as well as an excellent leader, so useful in more than one way, can cast some battle magic, help out with Holy 2 Sermon of Courage, all kinds of other things. Then you have your Rain Priest, opens up water for you, and cross-path water blood summons. Then your Moon Priest, with your Astral and your Blood. And quite important, your High Priest. These are your Holy 3s for Divine Blessing. Once you get a larger army, it's pretty important that you give a shot with these guys. I like to have quite a few of them, but I do find that you need a balance. So starting off the recruitment, I maxed out on my Jaguar warriors, so I was able to buy 6 of them, plus 1 holy point spent on the priest, and I added a few more slingers. One of the reasons for the slingers is a trick I found is if you've got any kind of an archer sitting back, when you're using a basic priest casting blessing, 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 and then hold, they'll run right up behind your melee units unless you keep an archer handy. So even 1 or 2 archers holding back will keep your priest safe. And that's the basics of this turn. You can see the starting income for Maerlande is very broad and very excellent as far as gem income. And I still have some money left over. I'm going to make a fort as quickly as I can. I'm not going to try blind expand because I use for my troops. And well, blessed Jaguar warriors are crazy good. So let's go and take a look at turn number 2. Takes a moment to load, not too long. These turns aren't terribly big. Alright, in turn number 2, it's like just about everybody in the game built their profit. I had an unexpected event. Huh. Yeah, isn't that fun? 1 air gem, and I take a whack for all of those things. Oh well. Not too much of that affects too much right now. I'm not researching anyways. Now you can see, something to note, Maerlande cannot preach. Early age and late age Maerlande cannot preach. This is important. You must start blood sacrificing, at least a small amount, very early. So I've got my profit going, my scout profit, and I've already set up to expand in 2 directions. Let's see how I set things up. I'm trying my starting army on its own, and as I mentioned, I'm using the Maerlande priest. Now, morale's crappy, but Jaguar warriors are so darn good, I expect I should be fine no matter what. I like to set them a few squares in front of the priest. Bless has a range of 10, so if we kind of do a rough count, I'm about 8 in front. I'm not going to use a formation because their morale hit's already bad. And you can see I'm going to do fire and keep distance on a handful of slingers, hopefully to keep the priest from rushing forward and getting in trouble. The reason I'm doing a hold is to hopefully ensure that all the Jaguars get blessed. A single cast might miss some, so I'm doubling up. And that'll have the independents come at me. As far as the tribal king, you can see I've got the unarmored slingers in the back, fire closest and keep distance. Got the other little bit heavier slingers in a line right in front of them. And the tribal king's a fairly good leader, so I can afford to use some formations. And that's fundamentally it. We'll check a look at recruitment. Basically the identical recruitment, a little bit more extra of the light slingers. We just keep doing that for quite a while. So we'll let this turn go through. We'll end it and we'll move on and take a quick look at turn number 3. I think we can do 3 turns in this video without building the video too long. Let's look at our battles. In the Troll Woods, excellent. The bear tribes had no hope. I lost a handful of warriors. So maybe we'll watch that. I will upload these turns so folks can then download them and look at them at their leisure. We use the arrow keys to scroll a bit, maybe a little bit of page down, get us a little more tight in the action. And I think everything's going well. I'm going to hit fast forward. There you can see, pretty effective. Now, in hindsight, I now realize that fire and keep distance was not that effective when I'm using shielded, armored slingers. They should have just stayed in melee. But I won, and the losses were insignificant. Let's take a look at Dershid. Well, I lost 3 Jaguar warriors. I lost 3 Jaguar warriors. I took out his infantries and archers, but what happened there was cloud mages, which I believe when we take a look, we're going to find out that they are glamored, which means I didn't see them. And still, it's not a bad result. That will mean there'll be very few troops when I try to take it next turn. So let's watch the action. Wind guide, air shield. Okay, so wouldn't have done much good to come at him. Let's take a quick look. No, these guys aren't glamored, so I guess it's just simply a case of I made the mistake and didn't notice them. My bad. It happens. But at this phase in the game, a little attrition isn't a problem. We're still going to do well. Now, the slingers have rushed up a little farther than I'd hoped. Looks like all the Jaguar warriors are blessed. You can see, taking some damage, and there's some blood vengeance at work. Some of those malicious javelins hit them back, and the lightning bolts. Now it looks like the lightning bolts are not going to have a great deal of effect, causing blood vengeance on the Cloud Magi. Well, this one took a bit of a hit. You could see the little bit of red here, so he took some hit points. But his magic resistance is 13, so might have worked if I'd had a few more. Either way, that's pretty much the end of that turn. Now let's see what action I decided to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to blood hunt my capital a bit. Later on I'll talk in more detail about this, whether or not it was a valid technique. At the beginning I think it's worthwhile to get some slaves to get a kickstart. You can see I'm bringing that starting army back, or reload it, load it up, and build myself another whack of Jaguar warriors and a few more slingers. This time I'm going to take a moment and get a tribal king. Reason is I'd prefer that my Jaguars had better morale. They might have won that other fight if they hadn't had the -2 morale penalty, -1 for a weak leader, and the second -1 for 2 squads for a leader that can only do 1. So I think it's worthwhile to spend a capital turn and get 1 tribal king. I didn't recruit anything in the new province. I decided to give it a bit of province defense up to 10. Reason here is I intend to blood hunt anything over 5,000 population, so I want that little bit of unrest reduction from province defense. It's not much, but every little bit helps, and blood hunting sends unrest through the roof. So I'm going to call that first episode. Once again, Tactical Briefing 3. I'll put a link up to the forum, and hopefully eventually I'll be showing some written analysis to go along with the videos. Alright my friends, have a good one. Hope to see you in game.